I've been quite strong most of my life. I think I was quite strong as a child because we didn't have anybody bringing us up really. We were left to our own devices. So I think I was strong very young, and I've kept with it most of my life. Being a mother of 4 children when I was only about 23 was hard, and they've all managed to get to adulthood in one piece. So, it was perhaps hard for them as well, being just one mother and 4 kids and having to share time and stuff. But I do think that I've been quite strong most of my life. And I was, virtually forced into marriage. I didn't realise I could just say no, but I was 16, taken to a registry office, and married off, and it was one of the worst days of my life, I have to say. But then once I did become a mother, that was really nice. After 7 years and 4 children later, I found the courage to leave my husband because I wasn't happy, it wasn't for me. I mean, for me, I'm a bit like the suffragettes. I like to cause civil disobedience because I know it works. If it costs them money, it gets a mention, and I think that's the only way you can get attention. You can't just. They love it, all these peaceful marches, because it means nothing, and they know that. And so I got bored with them. All those marches. Like the Greenham women certainly sent those bombs back to America. Because they caused havoc. And it worked. It worked, and that's why they don't talk about it. I mean, they make films about this and that, but they never talked about Greenham Common because it worked. It really worked, and that was women. Women made that work, and it was wonderful. We were being driven in the car, and they stopped at a place in Leamington along the Wills Road, and we were pulled out the cars and raped in a field, and that did ruined a lot of things in my life. That moment, of that was just awful, and it sort of changed me forever in a way, because I'd never felt that powerless in my life, and it was horrible, and I just it was that drinking thing, that if I just hadn't been drinking, and these drinks were being bought for us, so we didn't have the money to pay for them, but it was just a dreadful part of my life, and it did change things forever. Especially with relationships with men. I think that changed it all at that moment.
Ushering in of feminism, right, really was to speak to the most privileged group of women. We don't believe in moving from that space of privilege. We believe in empowering and lifting from the bottom.
They've gone, but not forgotten.
That we as black women have to face every day in the workplace. I did have a job once that I actually wasn't allowed to wear braids because it didn't look professional enough, and I actually had to quit that job because I just didn't think that was even okay or even normal. It's just braids, it's a form of hair. I don't understand why it was seen as unprofessional or as if it would get in the way of my work. Stuff like that are forms of racism, and cultural appropriation is the biggest one, because these people are not getting the same backlash as black women are getting in the workplace and just in society itself. On social media, a lot of non-POC people, non-people of color are having surgeries and tanning their skin to make themselves look aesthetically like a person of color, and even doing their hair in like braids or texturizing their hair to make it look like a certain texture. I think these are a form of racism because as black people we are not accepted the same way in society, and I feel like it's something that people use to maybe feel comfortable or maybe feel like they can understand me in a way, but I don't look at it like that. I think it is a form of subtle racism. This is mainly because there's a lack of education, mostly in schools and even in the workplace itself. People should be made aware that these things are not okay, and it is actually a form of racism.
My name's Charlie. What did I have for breakfast this morning? I feel like that's always the question you ask, is what did you have for breakfast this morning? As a woman, you are told to protect yourself because you don't know who's behind you, you don't know exactly who to trust. I was adopted from, my father was a rapist, and then I went into foster care. My first foster care was also an abuser. And then when I was 16, I was raped by someone I was seeing. And the statistics are right when they say it is usually a person that you trust, someone you're close to, someone usually in authority of you. I mean, the guy I was seeing less so, but I had known him for 3 years, I want to say, which was a long time. And it wasn't just me. I think 5 other girls came forward, and that's only the girls that came forward. I didn't, because I didn't want my mum getting involved, and I hope that she never finds out. And I think that's really scary that I can't even tell her, someone I tell pretty much everything to. I think I'm a pretty strong person for getting through that. I'm quite modest about how strong I am. I am strong for getting through it, but only a bit because I had to. I feel like for some reason I'm meant to still be here. I want to be able to talk to people who have been through situations like I've been through, all the way until I'm old and dead. But I want, even beyond death, I want people to remember me for how far I've come. I still have to put my guard up constantly around the people that I'm closest to, because I just don't know. It's not my fault, and it's taken me years, and I mean years, so much to get to the point where I'm like, okay, it wasn't my fault. I have spent so many days dreaming about time travel to change the past, but what the hell could I have done? Like, there's just nothing I could have changed. It's just about the present, in the exact moment. You know, that's just what gets me through. You're not in it alone. That there's always gonna be someone who's gonna understand to, like, even the smallest extent. And it's good to talk about things, but we understand that it's difficult to talk about things. And sometimes you need a hug, or not even a hug, but just you need someone to be there, someone to keep you company, and that you are most definitely never, ever alone.